Hi everyone, my name is Pamela and I'm a senior investment banker within one of the financing teams in the investment banking division of Absa Bank Limited. I work in a team called Financial Solutions Group, or affectionately known as FSG, where we look to originate, structure and execute equity-backed deals for investors looking to do your management buyouts, leverage buyouts, recapitalizations, BE transactions, you name it. I did my articles at audit firm, one of the big 4 audit firms, and during my articles I realized that I do not want to do audit for the rest of my life. So I wanted to move into a space that allowed me to be part of the day-to-day decision making of any business or corporate. And given how dynamic and fast-paced investment banking is, it seemed like the natural progression for me. And I must say that a few months into the job, I realized that it was one of the best decisions I had ever made, because I got to not only learn on the job, but I wasn't sitting behind a desk, which is what I did not want to do. I got to interact with a lot of people, and I just loved the challenge that came with the job. Do I have a mentor? This is a tough one to answer, because I do think that I've had many mentors, a little too many to mention, throughout my career. What I usually do if I'm looking for, some sort of guidance about a decision that I need to make or a process that I need to implement, I usually look to the best person to ask the question. So I don't have a specific mentor. All of my mentorship relationships have been on an informal basis, and they're usually targeted at trying to solve a specific problem at that point in time in my career. What's the hardest part about structuring deals? I think everything about it is difficult. But if I had to pick one thing, it would probably be the negotiating part. So throughout deal making, you have a client that's obviously trying to get themselves the best terms of a deal, and I have to look after the interests of the bank and obviously also make sure that I'm able to meet clients' needs. So it's always a very tough tuggle between ourselves trying to protect shareholders' returns and protect our regulatory capital position, and a client who's obviously trying to push the boundaries. But you always find that at the end of the discussion and at the end of a deal, you reach a place that's workable for both parties. So that's always such a great win when you're able to agree with a client on points that seemed like they were insurmountable at the beginning of the conversation. The first thing you need to do is have a deal closing lunch, right? Deal closing lunch or deal closing dinner, everyone needs to sit around the table and celebrate the fact that they've been able to close this deal. Post-closing and post the lunch or the dinner ending, the one thing I like to do is make sure that I get some time to myself. So usually the team knows I'll say, I'm going away for a day, I'll book a day or half a day just to take some time out to relax, and I'll usually end up at a Thai spa most times. That's usually my way of relaxing and saying, thank God this is done. I think my advice to a young lady joining my team or joining the investment banking or financing space would be to be curious about your work. I find that you have people who join the team and they're generally not as interested as I'd like them to be about the day-to-day workings. And that usually counts against someone's progression, because if you're not curious, you're not able to really make the best decisions because you're not well informed. So be curious, it helps with your career progression, it helps you be able to manage and engage with clients much better, and it somewhat keeps you on your toes. So yeah, that would be my advice.